What's up, guys? Welcome back to Back Road Driver.
We're the Mizer Brothers.
Today we're up in the Cherokee National Forest outside of Tellico Plains, Tennessee, Monroe County, on the far east side of the state, almost up against North Carolina. We're going on a 42-mile trip. It's not going to take that long for you to see the whole trip because we're going to show you the highlights. Let's give them some details of what we're doing today.
We're going to be in my 21 Lariat F150. This thing has a V8 in it, and I do have some suspension mods, but we'll tell you about them when we get on the trail. So guys, we're on the Cherohala Skyway right now. We're gonna cut back down through the woods on some old fire trails and everything. Gonna be a fun ride through the woods there, and then we're gonna come back River Road. Lots of views of the Tellico River. And we're also gonna get to run by Bald River Falls, and you guys don't wanna miss that there at the end of the video.
I'm here at the first overlook. It's like less than probably a quarter mile from the split there. And we're not gonna stop at all these. We're just gonna kind of give you the highlights, but I did have another thing or two I wanted you to know before we get started. You can take just about anything. You can take a minivan on this little trail. So we're not pretending to be hardcore off-roaders today. This trip is about 42 miles, takes about an hour and a half. About 15 miles of this is actually the fire road, the trail that we're talking about. So it's like loose gravel, a little bit of dirt and mud here and there, but that's the fun part of this trip, and that's why you drive all the way up here. I've went ahead and put a link down in the description of this video. You can click on that. It's for Google Maps. You can see this trail that or this loop, I guess, that we're going on, and you would have to force it. And when we built that, you have to force it to make the turns where we're turning because part of it's, you know, barely a road. You want to download that. You want to download the Maps app on your phone, the Google Maps app. Then you want to actually download that trail onto your phone so that you can use that when you're not on the internet, because we've lost internet service 30 minutes ago. You're not going to have any of that up here. So because you may be driving from further off and not know these roads as well as Sam does, go ahead and take care of that little piece of business. That way you don't get lost when you get up here, because there's nothing worse than getting eaten by a Tellico bear.
You probably need to go into your settings and figure out where you're going to be at, and you can download a big square map, say all of East Tennessee. If you're going to go on this trail, you can download that to your phone. It only takes up a few megabytes, and then wherever you're at, you don't lose your GPS because you can't download a new map or whatever. You're not going to get traffic and information like that, but you're not going to get lost either. So that's my tip of the day. Because
Sam downloaded this particular map to his phone and plugged his phone into his Sync 4 system, we actually have a perfect map showing our entire route, how long, you know, everything we've got to do. Like, that's how much to the next turn. So everything's here exactly like we need it. That's another good reason that we do that. We've been climbing about 10 minutes now on just the basic driving road. I just want to show you kind of what you're working with here in Tennessee. I'm gonna hand the camera to Sam.
We're already over 3,000 feet. We started at about 1,000 feet.
But Sam, I'm from Colorado. 3,000 foot is my driveway, blah, blah, blah. Well, we live in East Tennessee, and this is what we're working with, all right? It's pretty awesome to us. We got lots of trees everywhere. So the fun's about to begin. We're about to get off into the gravel. We're crossing over from Tennessee to North Carolina from, I guess, Cherokee National Forest
to the Cherohala National Forest. So as you come up the Cherohala Skyway, when you get close to the state line, you know you're almost ready to make a turn off into the woods.
Now, speaking of state line, you guys have met some of the rest of our family on this channel, some of our cousins and parents and different people, but our dad actually went to jail in North Carolina. He was wanted for murder. If you want to hear the story about our dad being accused of murder, comment Bobby in the comments down below. Maybe we'll tell you that story a little bit later in the video after we get off in the woods.
One thing you're going to notice on the Cherohala Skyway is when you get on to the North Carolina side, things are quite a bit nicer. The pavement's a little bit better, and there are actually safety precautions put up to let you know when sharp curves are coming and everything. And I'm talking about more than just a sign. They have flashing lights, they have markers on the roads, that sort of thing. For some reason, they just went to another level on the safety on this road in North Carolina than Tennessee has ever thought about. So I just find that interesting every time I come up here.
We're over 4,000 feet now. I will say about the Monroe County side, that's where Sam and I are actually from. We're from Sweetwater, Tennessee originally, and Monroe County is God's country.
So here's your turn.
Once you take this, there's no going back.
Well, you could turn around, but we are in the gravel now.
This is where the fun begins.
Right here when you get off of the Cherohala Skyway, you can, I'm going to show you right down here, you can continue on this road, and this will take you on further into North Carolina. There is a sign, and it says National Forest Road 81, not suitable for passenger cars.
Hey, they've even got a turn sign over here 15 feet off the road in the weeds to tell you that you're about to turn on a gravel road. We can't even get that on a paved road in Tennessee.
So guys, here's the deal. You're going to be in North Carolina here for a little bit. You're going to head back into Tennessee. We are up here. If you look at your map right now, we're on the borderline. We are right on the edge of North Carolina, Tennessee. So we're in North Carolina at this moment, but we're going down this way and we're going to go back into Tennessee immediately.
It's a good thing that we're getting out of here because we got cousins, Billy and Spencer, that have warrants for their arrest in North Carolina, and people say we look a lot like them. So we're going to get the heck out of here.
So we're crossing back under the Cherohala Skyway on the gravel road here. We're heading into the Cherokee National Forest again.
We've hit a waypoint on the map.
And we'll continue on here, continue to River Road. And we're headed on into the woods.
Temp just dropped about 15 freaking degrees. Of course, we're already, I got out to fix the cameras on top of the truck a second ago, and Sam said, hey, how's it feel out there? And it was like 73, but it's like 90 back down in, you know,
the real world.
Normalville. But we ain't in the real world today, baby. Let's put a little high speed on this thing and just have some fun.
So my stock truck was a 4x4. I didn't get the FX 4 package. I wanted to save some weight because I am gonna get that supercharger, guys, trying to keep that weight low. But I did add some Falcon sport tow haul suspension on this thing. And these are big, beefy, think of Fox shocks, think of, I don't know, any of those kind of brands. These do all those same things. These are premium off-roading shocks. There's plenty of videos out there showing people ripping up some trails, doing some desert runs, that sort of thing with these. They're meant to take the heat from all of the dampening they're having to do while you're off-road. These are great shocks for somebody who's not going to go out and run this thing in the desert all the time, or trying to do this as a sport. But if you want to go have some fun on the weekends and everything, this is a great setup. And those are also going to allow you to change some settings and help with towing ability as well. We got some videos we'll put in the description on those and how they help you, or how they assist with towing. Tires were the next biggest mod on my truck. I've got a set of Nitto Ridge grapplers. They are in 305 5520, and I've got a set of Venom Rex 602 wheels. So I've got quite a good bit of grip out here on this road, and confidence to take on any terrain. I just wanted to point something out here. We did the climb on the way up here on the Cherohala Skyway, and now that we're on this trail, we're going to be going down quite a bit here until we get down to the river, and it'll kind of level out and we'll follow the river out and everything. So we are losing altitude while we're on this trail.
So we're going to tell you that story about Bobby, our mythical creature dad, who has done and seen more than Sam and I will probably ever. We've got a younger brother, Charlie, and we all look up to Dad. But here's the story of Bob. So we were in the billboard business for 50 years. Sold the company when Dad had been doing billboards for 49 3/4 years. Sam's done it his whole life. I did it my whole life. Our brother Charlie did it his whole life. And so now we're out doing other things post billboards. Dad and his cousin were painting billboards in North Carolina back in the day when you had to go out and hand brush, hand paint them. And they got done with the job, and I think they left to go to lunch or something, or left to go stay in a hotel for the night, and somebody came along behind them, got their paint rags, and tied up the people that lived at the house that was on the property where the billboard they were painting was. So the person that tied them up robbed them, held them at gunpoint, and then they left with all their money and all their belongings. So Dad they were, I think, done and headed back this way, and the North Carolina State Police stopped them before they got back over the state line, took them to jail, scared them to death. Dad was young at the time and had no idea what to do. You didn't have cell phones.
I think they were 17, 18, 19 years old at most. So.
That's pre-Sam, Brad, and Charlie at this point. So they were in jail for a day or two. They were pleading with them, trying to tell them they were innocent. I mean, their paint rags are what had these guys tied up, so it looked pretty bad for them.
I guess finally the folks that were tied up got to see them and said, no, that's not them. But there for a while, they thought they were going to jail for attempted murder.
So the police actually brought the couple down to the station and had them check out Dad and his cousin, and that's how they got off the hook. And I think they eventually caught those folks trying to do the same thing somewhere else. So that's our brush with the law from Bobby Meiser, and that's why we stay the heck out of North Carolina. I'm gonna go down here and film Sam driving by. I know I'm not supposed to show you this because it makes the video seem less professional, but I want to show you the side of the road here. Like, if I just show you that, it doesn't look like it's that bad, but it's like 900 foot down and you'll die. You don't want to slide off on the gravel. I think it's probably a little worse than if this was dirt and maybe packed. You slide around a lot on gravel, so be careful when you're out on your trails. This is the best thing you can do in your truck for a lot of people, especially for me. It's just, you get out here and it's 10 or 15 degrees cooler. You hear I hear water in the background. I hear the freaking river. So this is nature, baby. This is where we should go with all these vehicles. Can't wait to get the Broncos and spend every weekend out here. If you guys want to see more videos like this off-road, where we get onto gravel, get onto some dirt, go ahead and comment back road down below and let us know you like this type of content.
I've got this thing in sport mode, which puts you in 4-all, and in most situations on pavement, I'm usually putting that back into 2-high because, well, I don't need 4-all on the pavement most of the time. But in these gravels, I've left it in 4-all, and man, I gotta tell you guys, with the Falcon shocks on here, I mean, you can hit some pretty major bumps and slide this thing around some corners, have a lot of confidence in this vehicle. I mean, we're about to hit a good one right there. I mean, I'm about to hit another big one right here. I mean, it's not that bad, guys. I mean, this thing can take that all day and keep on trucking it down the road.
The new F150 is a friggin' sweet vehicle. You don't have to have a Bronco to come do these type of gravel trails, guys. Take your F-150 and get your butt out in the woods. So we're back to civilization, or at least to the outer edges, back to River Road, and we're headed down at this point when we make this right to go to Bald River Falls. Sam camps way up that way, like way up that way.
You're about another 30 minutes this way.
Yep.
Up the road, towards the state line again.
But he stays out of North Carolina.
Stay out of North Carolina though, boys.
Yep. Let's go see a waterfall.
This is gonna be a very scenic road, guys. You're gonna love River Road. If you can, you wanna drive that whole road. If you're this far, you may wanna go drive this whole thing and come back this way. It's worth that extra 30 minutes up and 30 minutes down roughly. This is some of the most scenic road with a beautiful mountain river running along it the entire way. Yep. So it's a great drive.
So we're pulling up to the falls. We're gonna back in here and walk out on the bridge here to show you what's up.
Is this what everybody comes to see?
Been here a million times. It's been a little while since I've got out and walked out on the bridge to check this out, but this is pretty spectacular, guys.
So the waterfall is 12 foot high. It was constructed by George W. Bush. So this is what we grew up coming up into the Tellico Mountains to see. It's what a lot of people think about when they think about Tellico and coming to the mountains. There's a ton of roads off into the middle of nowhere, guys. So just get you a good map, get off the map a little bit, and all kinds of neat stuff to see here in Tennessee. And if you've got a 21 F150, you got the right rig, but just about anything will do this, guys.
No matter what you got, make sure you get out and ride the back roads, guys.
We're just a couple of miles on pavement from finishing the loop. We want to thank you guys for watching today. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up on this video, and don't forget to comment back road down below if you want to see more videos like this.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.